guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back on the trailer build. If you guys watched the last episode, we ended up getting quite a bit done. All the lights are drilled in and in place. I'm going to remove all the lights and we're going to shoot some primer in behind there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run this wiring. So I got to do a few taps to run some wiring through, and I'll show you guys how I do that. And then we'll do a test run on it and make sure it's working properly. And then we're going to get ready to do some pour 15 on everything. We have to do a seam sealer in behind here just to give it a nice finished and clean look. I'm not going to re-weld back here. I don't really need to. It is welded in quite nicely, so I don't have to worry about it too much. We still have to add a rail. And the rail is a tie-down rail, so that'll go in between here to each end. We ordered that. Actually, I ordered that material. I'm waiting for it. And I also ordered the material for the tailgate. Tailgate's going to be a cool design. I'll show you guys how I designed that. But we're real close to finishing up. I mean, the wiring has got to get done, so let's get on it. All right, give this primer a shake. Did I need to do that? Probably not. But you know what? I figure I've got a can. I might as well throw a little bit in there. So let me get ready for the wiring. We're going to need these. I got the wire already spread out. These are for the back, so we're good because this one clips to the back end of it. The only one I'll have a little bit of an issue is getting the wiring in is the two front ones, but I should be able to get it through the grommet. So we should be okay because they're a solid grommet. The other ones are not. So let me kind of show you what I mean in comparison. So I don't know if you guys can see that. That's a solid grommet. That's the ones for the back. And this is a tail light. It's open on the back end, so we're good there. We're good there. Okay. So the game plan is I've got my wire out. So the game plan is to run this wire through the trailer, through the tongue, and it should be pretty easy to do. It should slide right through. If not, what I will do is use a fishy, and I think I've got one here somewhere. But in the meantime, we'll just add a little bit of tape. I should be able to slide this right through. It's pretty thick wire, so it should be okay. And then we'll divide it, and I'll show you what goes to the left side, what goes to the right side for wiring. Okay, let me see if I can run this through the tongue. I'll show you guys my game plan. Let me move you over and see if you guys can see what I'm doing. So here's my tongue, and it's open from underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to slide that in. Should go. Move this back a bit. course not. Okay. So, instead of me going out and getting a fishy, I'll just use some of the wiring I use to do powder coating. That'll just be easier. Kind of hoping that would work. Okay guys, so we've got the wires run through, as you saw. I'm going to run some ground through these. So yellow and brown is always driver's side, and the green and brown is the passenger side of the trailer. Okay, so I've got them off to the one side. Okay, it's got to go under that support beam. Okay. And that's going to work out beautifully in there. So what we want to do now is I'm going to drill a hole on this side and a drill a hole on that side, and we're going to fish that wire up to the back end of this. But as I'm doing that, I am going to run some ground with it on both, so we can put a ground on the top side of this. Reason why I want to do a ground is I can't really screw into this to put a ground. So I'd rather have the ground under the trailer, and I'll show you where I'm going to put it. But it's pretty simple. So let me get a drill. We'll drill 2 holes, and we'll get those wires run. Let's see. I should have a drill bit out here somewhere. So when we're drilling here, of course we got to make sure we're underneath the beam. All right, so you want to go in between. Would be all right. That should be good. Now I've got grommets that'll fit in that, and it'll protect the wire from getting clipped. Let me see if I can grab them. That should fit in there. And we should be able to get that wire to run through. All right. Now, the fun part is running that wire through, and we should be good. Well, I'm just wondering if I should be fishing through right now. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll tape it to this piece of metal, this homemade fishy, and we'll slide it through. Let me get tape I have in my pocket. My mic. Okay, I got the mic back. We should have the metal. We don't. We're not there yet. That's strange. There we are. Okay, so now before we do that, we're going to hook up a ground to this guy, and we're going to run it right up to the top. So we use, I got some 12, what is this, 12 gauge? Black wire. We'll tape that on there. So I don't want to cut this wire. So I'm going to try to be as gentle as I can be. We're good. Just push it through. Almost. I'll put that grommet back in later. So if you guys remember when I did the trailer, I had made a piece that, or holes in some of these 2x4s before I actually welded them together. So we're going to actually use those to run that wire up into that light. I'm going to use a smaller fishy. Let me grab another one. And we're going to try to fishy that up through the hole and into the light. So that shouldn't be too difficult from here. I got enough wire here, so I'm good. And then we got to run a wire right back to the marker at the back of the, closer to the tongue of the trailer. So these are the clamps here. You guys can see that. So we've got the 2 wires and a ground. Okay, so in this case, guys, so it's going to be, of course, it's going to be green and brown, and this is ground. Okay, this is your white, that's your ground. All right, so we got a drill hole on this side. Same deal. And then run this one. So guys, I've got everything ready on this side now, on the back end. So on the back end, of course, we got the ground and the brown that have to be snipped and put onto. So I don't have any more of these connectors, so I'm using what I had on the other trailer, which is fine. They're just not color coordinated properly, but that's not a big deal. It really doesn't matter what goes on where on the side markers, as long as it's hooked up correctly in the sense that brown is what we need. Now the cool thing with the trailer lights, guys, is most of the time you don't really have to have it running in piping. You could have it going from underneath and just drill holes going across. It's just the way I like to do things, but you could do that. I mean, there's so many different ways you can wire it. And the cool thing too about when you buy a light kit from, let's say, Princess Auto or any supplier, it comes with instructions, right? So you can, it's pretty straightforward, and it's easy to find wiring diagrams online. Not a big deal. I think where a lot of people make a mistake, and a lot of trailers, is they don't realize that the white is the ground. And that could be a problem. Okay guys, so I've got everything fished over, so we're good. So what we're going to do now is hook that up. My piece is there. Let me go grab it. We got the ground and everything there, so we're good. So we got to extend that so we can pull that wire back out that way. Oh, I'm using yellow because that's what I got. I thought I had some more yellow and brown, but I don't. I looked everywhere. I thought I did have another piece, but I don't. But that's okay. And we need a piece of heat shrink that's going to fit on that. Then I can slide it over top. Alright, one second. I thought I had brought them all over here, and I did. That one should do it. Okay, I got this guy. And we got this guy. We're going to twist them together. And we will solder that up. And we'll put that heat shrink over top. That should be good. We'll just bend that like that. That's going to go over top. There we go. And we'll heat that up. I'll grab my torch. All right. And that one's good. I'll let that cool off for a second. And these are wired up, guys. We're going to tape this one to here so it doesn't disappear on us. And I got wiring there, I think. We should be good. So guys, I've got the ground run to the back. I'm going to get in here, and what we're going to do is we're going to finish up the ground, and the ground's going to be done here. Oop, I'm pulling wires. So, game plan now is let's get rid of this tape, and let's see where we can mount this a little better. Maybe I'll move the camera over a bit more. Okay guys, I grabbed that clamp. This is a crimp one. I use this, a lot of these for my oven builds. They actually work really well. And then we'll heat shrink them on. I mean, you could solder this on, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. And then a nice crimp. And she's not going to go nowhere. Okay, so we need some heat shrink, and I had brought some. I thought I did. I did. We'll cut a piece of this. And I'll go right over top. Ah, too much. There we go. That's what she's going to look like. And we'll heat her up. All right, let's get that screwed in. I'll put a slightly bigger pilot hole. Make life a little easier, I hope. You know, we're definitely going through some pretty thick metal. The self tappers I have, unfortunately, don't have a wide head. So I'm just using metal screws. There we go. So now what I'll do is I'll just tape this up, and it gives me a little extra, which I'm happy about. And then I'll put a little bit of Pour 15 on that. And then I've got a couple of clamps, which I'll show you guys what I got. I use them quite a bit for multiple things. Oh, this is great tape. Another roll of tape here. Why is this tape doing that? Okay. Should be okay. Why are you doing that? So now, the game plan here is to use these guys. So you basically pop into a hole, strap this down, it holds the wire in place, and you're off to the races. So I will do is I'll do one here, right in the middle, and then one in the middle there, and we should be good. So what I'll do is I'll pilot hole first, and then we'll hit a little bit of a larger hole. See if I can get it going. Yeah. Now this guy I'll put underneath, and we'll slide him through. And we'll just snip the bottom of this guy. There we go. And we'll do the same on that. So after this, guys, what we'll do is we'll get the lights plugged in temporarily. I won't put the grommets in that come with the lights. We'll plug them in, and we'll do a test run. Make sure everything is working where it should be. This guy keeps falling out, so let's grab another one. I think I cut him too big. Or made him too small, I should say. There we go. And then this guy, oh, maybe I should have tested this first. There we go. She is fantastic. Close this guy up. So what I'll end up doing after is on these grommets, I'll put a little bit of seam sealer around the edges just a bit, or a little bit of silicone, one or the other, just to make sure that we don't get any water penetration inside the main pipe. Even though we've got some holes drilled out there, should there be any water that enters that, it should come out. But I'd rather it not. So that's the game plan. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and clean things up a little bit, and then we'll hook up our lights and see how they go. So guys, I'll take you in a little closer so you can see how I did that. It's nice and neat, tied in, the grommets are in. Got the grommet on this side. Okay, so underneath, going through that 3x3 pipe. And of course, coming out here. Now I will get some wire loom and get that done, but for the time being, it's good. So I'm gonna put this camera back on a tripod. I'm gonna hook up the lights. I backed up my truck to the bay door. We'll slide this trailer out and hook it up and see how she does. Okay, we'll plug those other ones in. Go. All right. Plug this guy in. Okay. All right, let's open up this bay door. We'll move the trailer out a bit, and we'll do a light test. Okay guys, so I've got it hooked up to the truck, and we're doing a light test. Now, what I did find out, which is not shocking, is the ones that I had on the front here, the older units, are not working. There's the license plate light. There's the front. So what I'll do is I'll order two ones for the front there, and we'll pop them in. But what's nice about my truck is that it does a light test, and we're running that light test right now. We should be getting brake lights now. There we go. Perfect. Very happy with that, guys. So what only issue I have is those old side markers that I tried to use. I will order some new ones and we'll put them in. No big deal. The wiring's there. I know it works. But quite happy with that. Okay guys, so we've got a shipment in. So this is going to be my tie down rails. They are 1 inch by 1/8 10-footers. I got them long, but I'm going to need the pieces anyway because I've got to do some standoffs on the unit. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. What I want to do is I want to decide how many standoffs I'm actually going to put. So I'm guessing right now I'm probably going to do one every foot. This way it keeps it pretty sturdy. So let's mark that one off every 12. 1, 2, 3. Might be a little overkill. But what it'll do is it'll really strengthen up that tie down rail. And a tie down rail is very important. So regardless of you know, of how much work it's going to be welding all that in there, I think it's important to have it. So let's mark them. So we should be pretty good. So we'll decide on what side we're going to go by putting a little X. There we go. I've gone ahead and already marked the 1 inch pipe, square pipe, to fit that. So we'll cut that. Let me just move this saw out. Bang on. Okay, so now we've calculated, we got to mark this guy the same way. So we're going to do a real simple way of doing it is I'm going to go back, since it's sitting on there now, I will just make a mark. Instead of pulling out the tape measure. Okay, and we're just going to roll it over. And we'll throw the square on that one again. One, two, okay, so what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Now, I've got the excess that I cut off of that. What's cool about this thing is this is an inch thick. So what we'll do is, let's move this down to an inch. That's the standoff. Put it right on the line. And then we'll cut them. There we go. So we'll cut a bunch of those. And this guy is going to be short, so this guy's no good. Make sure we don't use that guy. We'll cut that, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay guys, this should be good. Let's see if we can get this guy to sit properly. Now the game plan here is to come in. I've got this here. This is going to be my spacer. So we want to measure half an inch inward because that's a 2-inch. I'd rather it be sitting a little bit on the outer end than too close to the inside edge. Okay? So it's got a little bit of a bow. But once I heat it up and weld, she's going to be perfect. So let me mark. So we want half an inch. I can get half an inch on this thing. There's half an inch. We'll mark half an inch there. I'll mark half an inch on this side too, since I'm at it. There we go. So we'll hold that one down, we'll tack it in place. And then what I'll do is I'll make sure I got a 1/2 inch in the middle, and I will tack that in place, and then go tack them in place and then do the full weld. And I should be able to get my welder under there. So guys, I've got the rails all done. I got the caps, well, the upper supports cut down to the right size. I'll roll back here so I can show you. So we're moving along. They are completely welded in. Let me bring you over here. I'll show you what I got going on with the gate. So I started the frame of the gate with the expandable grate, and that'll be on our next segment. And I'll show you guys how I hang that gate and how we finish it off. But we're moving along. We did a nice full weld on every standoff, giving that some good strength. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this segment. I'm gonna call it here because I don't want to get too long, but we're getting there. We're almost done. I mean, the next few projects left is the gate, the floor, and of course paint in the Pour 15. But we're almost there. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this segment. Please consider subscribing. It truly will help me out. And throw me a thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it.